Welcome in everyone to the Challenge Aftershow. Tonight, Pamela and I are talking about the Challenge season 39, episode 16. Oh my goodness, Family Knows Best for the wonderful season known as Battle for a New Champion. Pamela, you had stuff to tell me, so go ahead. Just start listing off all this stuff you wanted to say. You wanted to wait till on air, so here we go. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Macro notes, the big picture. Man, this was an eventful episode. We learned a lot that if you are like us and don't follow the real life feuds very well, we didn't understand what the beef was all about. And obviously we find out what the problem between Nurys and Olivia is on this episode, which was great, and which I think is what the title means. My brother said not to trust you. Okay.
Right.
Two, I actually watched it last night and had the opportunity today to listen to Horacio on the Official Challenge podcast. So I have a little bit even more insight than usual to some of my questions. So I'm excited to get into this with more answers than I usually more answers than questions this time.
And this episode, loved this episode. I mean, this is what they should have been doing all season with this stuff. I mean, there's a little too much in the middle of like the strategy of like Jay making 18 lists. Like, I don't need to see him making the lists. I don't need to see them going over every single like way that this could break down. Just get to the selection. That's when it starts to get interesting again. That's when the drama's there. But overall, love this episode. The Olivia stuff. I mean, that is obviously the highlight of all this. I'm upset that my daughter has the same name as Olivia after what she did to Nurys. I'm very upset by this. But yeah, I just that was the big thing. Like, what did Horacio say that can add to like why that went down? Because after what Nurys did for Olivia last week, where she basically saved her ass, because she could have just saved her boyfriend Horacio, and then Olivia would have lost most likely to either a Zaza or a Kyland. Let's be real. Olivia wouldn't have had the opportunity to be here this week. So for her to jump back on the BS bandwagon of Jay and Michelle's team pissed me off 100%. She should have stayed with her newfound team. And also, wasn't she bitching all season that Horacio wasn't there for her all season as being her ride or die? And then Horacio steps in last week and says, hey, don't pick a girl, meaning don't pick Olivia, pick me to be put in there. So not only did Nurys save her ass, but Horacio saved her ass. She turns her back on both of them to go with Jay and BS Michelle. I just got a lot of issues with Olivia this week. I'm not a fan of her. I'm not on her bandwagon anymore at all. So there you go.
I feel like this isn't even like your take, my take. I feel like it's just objectively Olivia fucked up and made a horrible mistake slash decision slash whatever you call it. I don't think there's any real way to justify it. What she did, especially as a split second decision. But further than that, I hate Jay now. Like, I actually hate him with like a passion deep in purple. I hate Jay, and I hate everything that comes out of his mouth. Like, in the beginning, he's saying it had to be you, Nurys. Like, it had, and nothing makes sense to me. Like, what do you mean, Jay? It had to be you. And I don't understand why in the beginning of the episode, Nurys she's like, yeah, I haven't asked for a lot. Like, they're still civil. At that point, I'd be like, what is wrong with you, you sadistic fuck? So I feel like Jay's not just a jerk or selfish, but like a bad person that's like actually out to punish Nurys.
So listen, Pamela, you're nailing this Jay thing on the head right here. At the beginning of the episode, he says to like Nurys, Olivia, and Michelle, like, at this point, I'm not hunting for Horacio and Kyland, right? But then at the end of the episode, he admits, he's like, yeah, I'm still going after Kyland and Horacio. I'm like, dude, that's the definition of hunting. Like, what are you talking about? He's contradicting himself the entire episode. I am so like, oh my God. And I've been not a fan of Jay all season. He's just every episode, next level. I'm like, I'm not a fan.
Get there. There's a point where he's yelling at Michelle. First of all, just his tone, his posture, the way he behaves. I'm like, what a serious douchebag. Whereas I used to think he was a really nice guy. And I'm talking season 1. I thought he was a really nice guy. I don't even mean the past couple of seasons where he's gotten a little bit worse each time. I'm talking about when we first met him. I was like, what a humble, smart, all around cool guy. No, now I find him like repulsive. I think he's such an asshole. I feel so bad for Nurys. Yeah, they're literally sitting in that room, their war room, saying, well, let's save Horacio this time. And furthermore, and I know this kind of thought is going to get me nowhere, so it's not worth even wasting my breath on, but it was just so frustrating. So first of all, Olivia could have made that deal and then screwed them over at the last minute
Yes.
and not done it. She should have
Yes.
done that. She should have been like, yeah, of course I'll pick you, Nurys,
And then once she gets
whatever.
right, and then once she gets picked, still either pick Nurys or that. Pamela, that is exactly what I was thinking. And I
Oh,
think
yeah,
everyone's
should have
thinking that, right?
screwed Jay over. What's that?
Everyone's thinking that. Like, not just you and me. Like, everyone watched the episode is thinking, like, if that did really happen, why wouldn't they then go, like, why wouldn't Olivia still go with them? And then they could show that flashback of Olivia screwing Jay and Michelle over. Like, I don't get why she still went along with Jay and Michelle.
And it's not even screwing Michelle over. It's screwing Jay over, who
Well,
already holds
whatever.
it out for her. She's already, but at that point, it's like, all right, Michelle picked me. And I don't know what promise she made, but it's like, and I'm gonna tell Nurys when I pick her to pick or whatever, that someone needs to pick, like that I sort of made a deal. I get that they don't need to screw Mariah up in all this, but everybody's points, like, why are Mariah and James ahead of us, who's Olivia and Michelle are best friends? I mean, all of
Well,
it's so ridiculous. I don't know.
Michelle does call out Mariah and says, look, if you weren't hooking up with James, this dude would have been going down there every week for the past month. Like, I don't want to. And Michelle makes some good points at the same time. You know, she can't save anybody. They're down to whatever. But Michelle also has I mean, she's really good at politicking. We know this, but she's made so many goddamn connections. I mean, she at least hopefully she realizes I can't save everybody. Like, it's over now. We've gone far enough in this game.
And Mariah become priority number one. Like, why not Nurys is their best friend? And Horacio, who it's all very weird. None of it, the math isn't mathing, as the kids say. It doesn't make sense, doesn't add up. We can talk conspiracies in a second, but
You have a conspiracy? Good.
Jay,
Tell me a
I do
conspiracy.
have a conspiracy that was sort of touch. Well, there's a lot to discuss in this one. So let's just try and stick to in order. But
All right. Well,
so the
let's stay in
beginning, I just
order.
couldn't believe how. Okay,
Let's stay super order here. Burna and Kyland, their little fight that they had at the beginning of the episode was awesome, by the way, because
great.
Burna is just. I mean, I can't really stand Burna. She just, I don't know what she's saying half the damn time. She doesn't, it's lost in translation, maybe, but whatever. But like her attitude, the things that she does and says, I can't get on board with. And so like Kyland is calling her out for some stuff, and I'm just loving every second of it. So, I mean, there was that little thing. I don't know if you want to comment further on it, but yeah.
No, what I want to comment further on is that what is Burna's problem is what I wrote. Emmanuel's mom is hot. He's like, I want to retire my mom. And I'm like, your mom's like 35. Like, did you see him chatting with his mom? Who's like, hello. Like, she looks, I'm like, retire her. She's like, anyway, that's
Well,
my
it sounds like,
aside
it sounds
comment.
like Burna has, we always say like girls have daddy problems. It sounds like Burna has mommy problems with what they
Who
were talking about
does?
there too. So,
What I thought that Kylan said that was the most poignant and sums up all this Burna stuff and how we feel about her and why we don't necessarily like her. Because that he's like, she's an abrasive, rude person who her friends know is abrasive and rude and have pointed at it, and no one, she never course corrects. She's been told you come off rude. She's been told, she doesn't say, all right, I'll take that into account. And not like you should change because someone said you're, but it's like, listen, maybe it's not your intentions, Berna, but you do come off as very aggressive and rude. And, if you care about that, so Kylan had pointed out that none of her friends are really like holding her to task for that except him. And he's like, I don't care. Why? I'm not going to not tell her that. And I thought that was very poignant, that you can be a certain way, but if you just choose to just hear it over and over again and not correct, it's like, okay.
no,
So you're
Kylan
fine
calling
with
her
that?
out was great. The other thing that Kylan did that was kind of fun was when he came back into the house and he pretended that he was the only one. But like, I assumed that Horacio was in on it with him because he obviously came back, later. And I also love the fact that the two of them, I don't really think that they divulged really what happened during that thing, which I think is really good to not prepare anybody else for what possibly is going down. I mean, obviously it's pretty straightforward. It's basically turning into, they go to the same place, they solve different types of puzzles, and they have to do a small little obstacle in between. I mean, I guess that's how they're equalizing it, right? They're making it mostly puzzle based, so it's nothing like a strength thing or, you know, something like that where a guy might be better than a girl or vice versa. So, you know, that's how they're doing that. But I like that they kept it to themselves and they didn't divulge that information to
Totally.
anybody else in the house. So there was that as well.
Yeah. Um, Another funny thing to say just before, well, when we get into the challenge is that this was like an old school sponsor. It's like Under Armour is going to give you guys
Yes.
$15,000 to spend. And I was like, oh, I appreciated that.
Yeah, I like that. You
So
know, it's funny because I don't know if Under Armour makes life jackets, but the life jackets that they were wearing tonight were O'Brien, which I know I loved O'Brien growing up. I grew up on a lake.
up on the lake.
I always had an O'Brien life jacket. Yeah, I was drinking the Gatorade for O'Brien,
No,
but
drinking because you said grew up on a lake.
oh, right. You got to drink every time you
You're
say you grew
playing
up on a.
along at home, drink because Dan said he grew up on a lake.
But so it's funny. It's like they're doing all this thing for Under Armour, yet the life jackets were O'Brien. So I don't know. Maybe
I
Under
don't
Armour
think
doesn't
Under
make
Armour makes,
life jackets, but yeah, O'Brien
I don't think
is a
they
really
do.
big brand in the lake culture. So yeah, got a
Lake
lot of
life,
O'Brien
we
stuff.
know about hashtag lake life. Berna, it felt to me her talk to Emmanuel, and I don't mean to be a wretched bitch because this is going to sound awful, but it felt super contrived. And like, I was just called out and I'm upset. And like, my mother is sick. You know, my mom doesn't know how to express love. It seemed like one of those, like, wah, 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 you're just a bitch. Like, maybe your mom's a bitch too. I don't know. Don't hate me if that's too harsh. But it's like, yes, everybody has reasons why they're, you know, act the way they do, but I'm back with the Kyland. It's like part of being an adult is taking accountability. Not just because your mom's a bitch doesn't mean you need to be a bitch.
The
And you
majority
learn bitch
majority of
behavior.
people majority of people watching this show are sick and tired of the this is why I should win the money. Like, I don't care. Just
And
I
that
want
is
to
why
see
I should
people
win the money.
compete. Go on.
Not sorry, not even why she should win the money. It seemed like an excuse for like, yes, I don't talk about this a lot because my mom is, but my mom has, it was more not a why I should win the money, but why I'm a bitch. And it's like, well, if you can recognize that behavior and not like it in your mother, don't act like that. Don't act like a bitch to other people that you care about then. Don't
I'm
be
mixing
mean
it
if you
up
don't like
because
what she's doing.
Emmanuel also talked about his mom tonight and how he wants to win it for
Manuel
his
wants to,
mother again. I mean, here's the thing: the only way Emmanuel is getting in this season is by every like 3 episodes they check in with him. Oh, you still want to give your mom money and help her retire? Okay, that's the kid's not doing anything this season. He's not excelling at anything. He's got a great political game and he's hiding behind scrawny ass Jay. I mean, that's all Emmanuel's doing this entire season. And he's floating to a freaking final, and I hate floaters, and I hate what he's doing. He sucked in the challenge tonight. He didn't do jack crap. He was just mixed in with everybody else. I mean, as always, Horacio kicked some ass and got second place, unfortunately, to Jay, and now he's freaking not even on the show anymore. Neither is Kylan. So,
and what I'm very mad about is I'm mad now at all the people, obviously Olivia first and foremost, Colleen, my boy, who I love, Ed, all these people had an opportunity to stop Jay before he got to this place where he was in a position to no more Kyland and Horacio. There were many opportunities for people to take him down before this, and nobody did. And and part of me now, like, fine, my villain edit is like, good. I hope Jay wins. Then everybody deserves it because the other person, the three guys that I thought were deserving are gone now. All the
yeah,
three guys that I could possibly have rooted for
yep,
are gone.
yeah. I mean, here's the
So
thing: if a guy wins this, it's going to be either Jay. Who do we have left? Jay, Corey, Emmanuel. What other guys are left? James? Like, do we feel that any of those four guys deserve to win at this point? If a guy wins, not a girl.
I mean,
I don't
I
think
hope
any
none
of
of
those
them
guys
win.
right now even deserve to win. Like, I don't think they've done shit on this season besides be in that alliance and hiding.
It's so gross. And I feel like I wish, and I know that Ed had appeared on, I can't there to hear Zach speak, but I know Ed was on his podcast.
I
I'll have to
saw,
do a
yeah.
little deep dive too to hear what Ed says, because watching it back, because again, as the viewers, Jay, there's a few people that he seems actively loyal to, none of whom are in his big numbers now. So I don't, except for Michelle, obviously, and Mariah, like the original people are no longer our defectors. So I don't know what he said to keep Ed and Colleen, etc., so loyal. So I would like to hear from Ed, because Ed's not a dum dum. And this episode was honestly, I don't want to use the term heartbreaking to discuss the challenge, but it was a real gut punch. Like I was like, oof, oof. Almost
It was,
everything
and
that
we'll
happened
get
was
into the
sucked.
elimination for sure. But like at the same time, it was a gut punch because I was like, holy crap, not two people are going home. And then like, but it was awesome to see Nurys win too. Like, so it was hard. Obviously, I don't want to see any of those three go home, but it was kind of cool to see Nurys win as well. It just goes to show you that she's, a lot of people will say she's not that good at the show, whatever, but hey, she beat out two of the top competitors at I know it was mostly a puzzle game, but it was still pretty badass, and it was good. It was nice to see. But let's get into the daily challenge real quick here. Um, this was kind of like an old school challenge, not much to it, very simple, easy to follow along with. I wish they added maybe another element to it. Didn't have to be a puzzle or anything like that, but maybe something else to it could have been cool.
Swim back after or something, but then it's so much with the
I
water
don't know.
challenges.
They needed another thing. It felt a little lazy. I mean, hey, slide down a rope and stop it. Like, okay. But did you see like Horacio's hands at the end? I mean,
Yes.
like those were massive chunks taken out of
No,
his
that's
hands.
awful. He must have been flying.
So yeah, so I mean it's a pretty badass challenge when it comes to something like that. I thought it was really dumb. Oh my god, dumb of both Ed and Corey after seeing James fall to even chance. I know you want to win the damn thing, but at the same time to chance it and then end up falling and then look, Ed had to go home because James already had fallen. So as long as they didn't
Yeah.
fall, Pamela, they would have been fine. But they both fell,
I
and
think
there you go.
Ed literally like made a mistake, because he was there hanging there for five, like something happened and he unclipped it and fell. I mean, he
Yeah,
made a mistake.
yeah,
I don't
for
think it was
sure.
like calculated. Yeah, it really sucked. And I hate, I don't know where I stand on believing in karma, but with James, it was like, that's what you get when you send your best friend Zaza into the thing, is you fall. Same with Ed. It's like, listen, you mess with karma and karma messes back. Although, why is Jay fine? So that's where I get karma can't pick and choose like that. But it did seem like good karmic retribution.
Yeah, I mean, well, James is still in the damn game, and I mean, really, oh my God, has he done nothing this season besides just freaking? I was gonna say suck on the teat of Mariah, but that sounds wrong to say that. But in a way, I mean, she is keeping him in this game. There's no way a rookie would have lasted this long unless he found someone that was in a huge political alliance to get with, and he did that. So there you go.
Yeah, and again, Jay, who again, another tick on the old repulsive scale, is in his mind, it's like, who could I beat? Maybe James, maybe he wants to bring people that he can beat to the final, not Kyland, Horacio,
Yeah, yeah,
and Ed,
yeah.
because those people are all real competition for him. And if you can get rid of your real competition, I mean, it's not dumb, it's just not honorable at all, and it's against everything he pretends to be.
Yeah, I mean, look, I sadly don't think any of the guys that are left deserve to win it. Was it just four guys? Like, who the hell's left? Who are we missing? We lost two guys tonight. Yes, no, I'm sorry. We lost three guys tonight. So I think there's just the four that are left.
I think you might be right.
And honestly, I'm not rooting for any of them. I'm rooting for a girl at this point, whether that
Me
be a
too.
Nurys or that's about it on that end too. Like, like I'm rooting for Nurys at this point. Like that's all I have left. Like I'm not rooting for anybody else. I don't like what Olivia did. I don't care for Michelle, Mariah, whatever. I mean, I could root for Mariah, I guess, but like, is that it? Like, there's not many people left on this show.
Brian, Colleen,
No, not rooting for them.
Mariah, and James. I wouldn't. I mean, whatever.
I'm rooting for Nurys at this point, and I've been rooting for her all
The
season.
only one that
So
I'm rooting for. It's a bummer, frankly. Like, I feel bad for Ed. I feel sometimes it's just whatever happens, happens. And with Jay, I feel like stop pretending, stop straddling the fence and go full villain and be like, I'm fucking people over. I
We
am screwing
yeah, we
people over.
lost a lot of we lost a lot of heavy hitters tonight, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but Jay, man, he is just everything he's doing is horrible. If and mean. And again, there was when well, I'll let you take
And
us in order.
and look, here's the thing too. Like the way that TJ says that the players were separated by seconds, even he was probably, I feel like he was even like, this is absolutely absurd that I have
Oh
to keep
yeah,
saying this. Like every time they're separated by seconds, really,
right.
producers, I'm every time. Like, I don't believe it. Maybe my conspiracy can be Horacio actually won that goddamn
No,
thing because
I
I'm
think
sorry, but like having Jay win it a freaking again, I can't stand that shit. But you said you
uh,
had a conspiracy, Pamela. Tell me the damn conspiracy already.
um
Go ahead.
so they touched on this. I feel like this is end of the show discussion. That's almost why I don't want
All
to.
right, wait. Let's keep waiting. Let's keep
Okay,
hyping it for everybody watching. Um,
okay.
do you have anything to
Conspiracies coming at
say?
the end, guys.
Yeah, do you have anything to say about club strategy tonight? I mean,
Yes.
we think they're
So
gonna go party. They show some cheers, and then boom, let's talk strategy. So, what do they talk about at club strategy that you like tonight?
strategy, and my most repulsive moment of the episode, if you could even find one, is Jay. And this is where I'm like, oh, this piece of shit. This is why he's actually a real piece of shit. Really believes he's the victim here. Like he doesn't see it as well. So he's talking to Michelle, who Michelle's like the of this. So let me set the scene. Him and Burna are talking. Burna's laying out basically that they need to throw in Kyland, Nurys, and I don't know, whatever. She comes up with something. Jay brings Michelle over and says essentially she's not wrong. And Michelle is like, Olivia is like my best friend. They're friends in real life. Like Olivia and Nurys. Remember Fantastic Four? Remember that? Nurys, Michelle, Asaf, best Final Four, best friends. And now Olivia apparently is her best friend in the world in real life. Michelle's best friends with everybody apparently, but and she's saying you're asking me to like throw in my best friend. Jay is now standing on, I'm gonna pick you. Other than that, no control over anything. I'm an innocent bystander.
Yeah.
You know, he's taking on the like, whatever, you're my ride or die. I don't know. Beyond that, I can't, I don't know. I have no control. Meanwhile, puppeteering everything from the background. And then Michelle says, well, you have to understand it's hard for me to put in two really good friends in real life. And Jay's like, they fucking turned on me when they could have said Ed, and they turned on me and they made their stance and they declared that they were against me. So sorry, now I'm against them.
Well,
And that's how he sees it. But then he still tries to play them.
but then later, him and Michelle puppeteer Olivia into choosing Mariah to get it going that way so that Mariah can also be saved. So Jay kind of compromises with Michelle, I guess, because Michelle wanted to save Olivia, not Emmanuel like Jay wanted her to. So there is something to that as well. Either way, obviously, I don't like it. And like this is literally in the club. This is where Jay goes back on what he says. He's like, I'm not hunting them. He then says he is hunting Horacio
Yeah,
and Kyle. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about then? Like you said
he
you
goes
weren't going to
off on
hunt them.
everything he says all the time. He thinks of no one but himself. He is so selfish and he's so unself-aware at the same time. Like the thing that makes us like a Wes or someone that's screwing people over for the win is that they know they're doing it. Even Kyle, Jay seems to genuinely believe like a villain in a bad, more like after me gold was stolen, I have to kill all the babies. Like I don't know, something crazy where it's like
Is Jay Irish or
just saying, like I mean, an evil leprechaun. They someone that I'm currently watching Legion, and it's funny because the bad guy who works for the government is like been mutilated by this guy who he was trying to kill. So now he's like, oh, I'm gonna get him for doing this to me. But it's like he did that to you while you were trying to kill him for
right?
no reason. And that was a result of it's like the Joker turning into the Joker being like, see what Batman did to me. And it's like, but while you were trying to kill him. Jay is like that kind of villain that genuinely feels bad for himself, that he has been wronged, he is the victim, and he's gonna make these people that did this to him pay. And it's like, What? I don't even get it. It's so insane. And I feel like Michelle at that point should have been like, right, but you know that A, they weren't against you, and B, you were trying to throw. I wish someone would speak facts to him, but nobody seems to do that. And he gets riled up and angry. The last thing I'll say is in this villain, good guy, bad guy, it's just hilarious how like literally black and white it is become that Kylan, just the way they speak to people, the way they treat people, the way they play the game, the way they behave as humans are the good guys. And Jay is the bad guy now. Like, I don't think anyone could watch this and not feel that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, for as much as I love this episode, now that we're talking more and more about it, I'm like, holy crap, I only have one person I'm going to be rooting for the rest of the season now. All my eggs are in one basket. So I'm like, oh shit. But whatever, it is what it is. Okay. So during the selection, we kind of already talked about this. When James, I'll mention this, that when James picks Emmanuel, he calls him Emmy. I've never heard Emmanuel be called Emmy before, so I thought that was an interesting nickname that I was unaware existed. But besides that, the big thing was Olivia, which we already mentioned. And we mentioned why we think she made the wrong decision, et cetera, et cetera. Man, she could have mixed up that. I mean, people just, it could have mixed up the house and given us so much more to watch, Pamela, with the bigger payoff, you know? Like, let it be Corey. Let it be Corey, Burna, and whoever the hell else, like, down there instead. Like, so much, like, come on. Give me a freaking break here. But whatever. It is what it is.
Olivia, having gone through all that, well, first of all, my stomach, my heart broke and my stomach sunk because I was like, oh, Michelle's gonna go rogue and pick. Like, I went through all the emotions in real time with them. I'm like, oh my God.
I
And then
agree.
as soon as Olivia says Mariah, it's like, oh shit.
I wrote WTF is this, but like I verbally said it out loud last night. I was like, oh my, like it actually hit really hard. I was like, this is hot garbage. I cannot believe she did that. So
It was unbelievable.
so so we were all wondering what the hell, why is Nurys and Raven going off on Olivia on social media? But like, I think Nurys has every right to be upset about what happened. Obviously, she saved her the literal week before, and she didn't have to. She could have still, even if Horacio said, pick a girl, she still could have said, no, Horacio, I want to run this final with you. By Olivia, and Olivia, guess what? She would not have beat Zaza, and she would not have beat Kyland. So the fact that Olivia can't register that in her brain and goes a complete rogue opposite, I'm done. I am done with Olivia. There's nothing Olivia can do for the rest of this season to get me back on board. I will not go as far as saying she should get hit in the face again by a small little ball to the temple or to the nose. I'm not going to go that far, but I do not want to see her even making it to this final. No redemption for Olivia, like I earlier wanted in the season.
I am with you 100%. I can't believe my only thing, my only thing that I will say is that she's like, I am in survival mode, save my ass mode, whatever. So I get that desperation, but to do what she did after just last week, being saved by the three people she screwed over, who Kyland said it best when after this goes down and Olivia's like, I want to talk to Nurys. And he's like, well, what are you going to say? That like, you're stupid or that you didn't?
Yes.
Kyland was like, what are you going to say to her? That like, you're a bitch or you're stupid? Like what?
And it's so frustrating too, Pam, because then they also tonight showed all the stuff Kylan's done this season, right? All the eliminations he's won, all the different battles he's won, all this stuff. And now he's home. And we have to see like Emmanuel and Jay, who, great, he won a challenge. It's the one thing he's done all season, right? And like we have to see all the other people in here have done jack crap. Corey. What has Corey done all season? Besides call out oh God, what's her name? And Melissa Corey, and what's her face? Big T. Like
every time you say Corey, I think about Corey and then have to go scratch that reverse. Oh, this Corey. Like he's so irrelevant to me that when you say Corey, I think of Corey, the real Corey. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh no, there's another Corey in the show. Okay, Corey.
Like there's so many more people deserving to be in the game, right? So like Corey should have gone down to elimination tonight. Corey, Burna, whoever else, because Olivia obviously should have picked Nurys or whatever. And then let's see how they do. Let's give us some rooting. Like think about it. Raven's gone. Raven did a lot this season. She's gone. Ed is gone. Ed, he didn't really do too much, but still at the same time.
It's a lot. The three
Okay.
top
My
guys,
point
in
is
my
like, this
opinion,
is
went
not
home
how the
tonight.
challenge should work, Pamela. The people that do the most on the show, that are the most deserving, should make it to a final. Not all these people that hide behind an alliance. So, like, the challenge needs to rework however they like to rework their shit and get
Yeah,
it right. We're coming up on the challenge season 40. This is going to be a huge, big deal. They made it 40 freaking seasons. They better work out all this BS of letting shitty people get to the final who haven't done crap to earn it. They need to fix this.
agreed. Now, where I will play devil's advocate is that,
Please.
well, where first I'll agree. First I'll hug you, then I'll hit you. So
Okay.
first, I will say I agree. I hate, even when it was Kara's cult, and I wanted Team Kara and Polly to win. I hate when it just is a numbers game, like Big Brother, when it's like, well, this half of the house, like we've got the numbers, boom, boom, boom. I hate that. I
Right.
wish there was a way to make it wasn't a numbers game or private votes or something where you couldn't just dominate because you had the numbers. It drives me nuts. Now, having said that, I think we are really the hero villain. The whole Jay versus Kylan Horacio has given us great drama. It has been a good dramatic push-pull to see Jay the villain try and get out Horacio and Kylan, who are the good guys.
Yeah, to have both go home
So
though, that's the big hit, Pamela. If only one of them went home tonight and then one could come back and try to redeem the other person who went home. You know, here's the other thing too. Producers have a lot of leeway. Like they could have told TJ right before, hey, tonight we're going to do two, depending on who actually made it to that thing. If they wanted to only send one home, producers could have just said, okay, we're sending one person home again. So it's like, to me, I don't want to say conspiracy, but I also kind of do want to say conspiracy. Like, okay, oh, it's Horacio and Kylan. Let's make it so there's a chance they both go home. Let's add some more drama, whatever. I mean, I don't know why they would want to do that, like to lose both those players a lot, but I feel like that could have just been worked in for that night. It wasn't. You're telling me beginning of the season that's guaranteed it was going to be like two go home on the second time that we do chaos or whatever the hell. What are we in conquest now? So
yeah,
maybe not,
whatever
but
it
like
is.
I feel like producers obviously can, mix up the game however they want, however they see fit to give us whatever drama they want. So, and that's what they decided to do tonight.
They did. I mean, it was dramatic. I'll say, like Jay is a real coos. Like he really is a disgust. Like every time, everything he did just got worse and worse. And I still can't believe. Like I'm literally still stunned that Olivia did that.
Yeah,
I
that was the
just,
big
I
drama. That
just,
was, yeah.
I can't believe it. And like, how do you live with yourself? Like, isn't she embarrassed again? Like, remember when we were saying, what if it's fake, the beef for social media? Like, no, now I get it. It's
Yeah, we were
obviously
waiting.
real.
We were
And
waiting. And
seriously,
I even
Olivia, like,
asked,
how new?
I said, Pam, do you think we're going to find out this season? I said, I think next episode, we're going to find out. There's some drama. We're going to find out why there's all that beef after the season. And look, we did find it out. But, to have those three down there, three people that I think are much more deserving than a Burna, Colleen, or Corey, who should have been down there instead. Let them earn some stripes. Colleen, we saw what she did in the mini final. This girl, she does not stand a chance if she makes it to a final. She just doesn't. She's not
No.
going to do anything. Like what a waste of
And
TV time.
it's totally, it's so stupid. And I hate when the most unfair, like it could be like Burna for the win. It really could. And it's like, what? Good God. I mean, I don't think it's going to be Burna, but at
Like
this point, I'd rather James than almost anybody else. Like James, at least I don't hate. Everybody else I kind of hate. James is just like, whatever, I'm hooking up and like getting brought
it's
to a final.
it's just
He's
weird though. If I'll get, I actually have a list here of who's left in the game. I should have done this earlier
okay.
instead of guessing. We have Jay, Michelle, Olivia, Mariah, James, Emmanuel, Berna, Colleen, Corey, and now we have Nurys coming back.
Okay.
Like, who's deserving? Michelle did beat. Who did she beat in the elimination?
Kara.
She beat Kara.
Kara.
Okay, so she won an elimination. Okay, there you go. Nurys
Not deserving.
obviously
Although
just
she's not. Sorry, I was thinking she's not as bad as she seems though, because she did okay in the paddleboard swim thing too.
who's
She
this?
did well in that. Michelle.
Okay, fair enough. But I mean, like Nurys obviously just won a big elimination, so I would say she's deserving. James won an elimination very, very early on. There was that. But like when you get to a Burna, Emmanuel, Olivia, and Jay and Colleen and Corey, nothing.
No,
Nothing.
no,
Also,
now Nurys is the only I mean, like, we
but like
became
that's
last week team
six
Olivia Nurys.
people out of like the 6 people out of like the 9 or 10
Yeah.
people left haven't done shit all season. Holy
And
hell.
it's funny that you haven't brought that up. This is my conspiracy, which we can get to, I guess, now, because
But
we're
you
sort of
think I
there.
should have had this conspiracy, but you have it instead?
I
This is great.
surprised you. It's funny because I, again, it was a conspiracy that I definitely was feeling. And then I was like, am I a jerk for feeling that way? And then I feel okay talking about it because now I listened to Horacio on
Oh
the
my
challenge.
God.
And they also brought up, hey, no, we're not saying, well, I'm going to say it for when then I'll say what he said in real life.
You think
So
Horacio let Nurys win?
I think Horacio and Kyland, I think Nurys did great. I think 1,000,000% they were like, I don't think 1,000,000% Horacio and Kyland really couldn't get that duck shape into a pattern for. I absolutely don't believe that for one fucking second. So, oh yeah. So, and then I was like, oh my, the jerk. I don't want to take anything away from Nurys, who did amazing. But Kyland is not dumb. He can do a puzzle. It's like his main thing. And so Horacio said, ha ha, giggle. Well, my head might have not as been as in the game as it would have been if it wasn't against what I'm in love with. He didn't say, it's like saying, okay, Casey, did you let Nani win? Like, well, he didn't say, again, such a gentleman. I want to take nothing away from Nurys or Kyland and and Horacio, who I definitely think were like man to man. Let's let like no, I think I and he admitted it. He said yes, no one that they kind of, it's not that they threw the final, but neither
Okay.
of them
Hey, and
were.
so what did Horacio say on the after show, whatever the hell it's called, that made you believe in this conspiracy a little bit more? Go ahead.
They said basically, did you let Nurys win? And he laughed and said, I mean, we both might not have been as heads down as we would have been if it was a different kind of if we were
Okay.
competing against
Okay.
someone else.
Oh, fair enough. I think that you definitely.
They threw it, and it's not that she didn't deserve it, but that, because then the girls doing Devin and Davon were like, yeah, TJ was like, come on, Kylan finished, and he's like, yeah, like he was like, yeah, I'll get to it. Like,
I do think that there is a mindset where you either play down to your competition or play up to your competition, depending on who it is. I think if Kyland and Horacio had like a Burna in there or Corey in there, I think those two dudes would have been working together to make sure one of them got out of there alive and the other. Yeah, I think there's something to it there, Pam, for sure.
not to misquote anyone, but Horacio said he felt that he ruined Nurys's game. Being with him had tanked Nurys's game, that she was in fit and pretty. And so I think these internalized, and I would go so far as to say maybe even Horacio and Kyland never said, let's throw this and have Nurys win. High five. I feel like they're just such good people that it was like, I don't want to beat you. I don't want to beat you. Like the gentlemanly thing to do. And I hate to keep using that word, but it's like the classy thing to do, forget gentleman, is to she's going to win. I don't think they would have like pretended to break their legs if Nurys wasn't doing good. I feel like it was an understood, a gentleman's agreement, as they say. And he intoned that I'm correct, because I was like, I don't want to take away from her because she did great. Nurys, and she super deserved, like, again, TJ, I feel like TJ is all of us, where he's like, Olivia, what the fuck? Like, disgusted with Olivia.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even hide that from your face. It's disgusting, and like hates Jay. And those guys are just good guys. And again, it's who do you want to be? Who do you want to
They're
show? And
if
at the end of the day, I definitely am a bad girl on the, and usually I like the baddies, but someone that thinks that they're a good person that isn't like a Jay really gets my goat. And someone that doesn't want to take out someone that Horacio said he is in love with Nurys on the today, on this thing, said, yes, I'm in love with her.
well,
And
Nurys said it tonight on the episode. In theory, she said she said I told Horacio I'm falling in love with him. I hope that wasn't a mistake. Well, clearly it's not because they look like they're going
yeah,
strong still. So yeah,
I mean, just the way that he handled when last week or some week this week when he's crying and saying, I feel bad. And she's like, don't apologize for it. Like, you didn't do this to me. Jay did this to me.
yeah. Look,
He was upset that she was in that position just to feel that's a real selfless. It's just so apparent to me the mannerisms and characteristics of a good person and a shitty person when you literally see them back to back.
yeah. I
Most
mean,
of us are
look,
not as good as Horacio. Most of us
if
fall in somewhere like Olivia. I'm not gonna whereas she's dead to me for this episode at least. I don't think she's a horrible person. I think she made a very bad
yes.
choice and will live to regret
Look,
it. And I
now
feel bad
look.
for her.
It got her to the next episode. So right now it's a horrible choice as far as like we think you did some people dirty to get there. She did make it to the next episode. We have to give her that. However, let's see how this plays out now. Like let's see
Right.
how far that takes her versus if she'd made the other decision and stuck with a Horacio and Kyland, kept them both in the game. Those two would have very big chances to win every daily challenge. And then therefore, guess what, Olivia?
Absolutely.
You'd be safe with them. So now let's see who wins the daily next week and let's see how safe Olivia is now. And we'll go from there, of course.
Exactly. It
With
will
all
be
this said
shaken up.
though, huh?
It will be shaken up, but right now it's disgusting that
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are even going to the final, but that these assholes are sitting pretty because they got rid of the three best guys last night. And Ed, it's kind of his own fault. So I still feel bad because I think he had a chance to win, but it makes me furious that someone like Colleen and Olivia and whoever, it's like, but you're not going to win. And Kyland and Horacio could have really won. So like, it sucks that they're not there. And Zara.
And with all that said though, if Kylan and Horacio are available for season 40, they will be asked back. I can't imagine them not. They had such a great season this season. Everyone's like, wow, we finally have some people we like rooting for. Because Horacio, remember, this is only his second season. Kylan, I think he did like the Challenge USA, one of those, and didn't really stand out too much. Like he did okay, but this season he did stand out. He gave us more to root for. So those are two guys that we enjoy watching, and I think it's a lot. We're always missing those type of guys. Like these two guys are like I enjoy, and same like a Nurys. I enjoy watching a Nurys. So it's like bring these people back. We're sick and tired of
Oh,
seeing
hell yeah.
Casey. We're sick and tired of seeing Burna. If Burna gets asked for season 40, I'll be shocked. She's brings nothing to the table. She's just there. Colleen should not be on this show anymore. She doesn't give us anything. It's crap. Yeah.
Yeah, Colleen, I'm still mad at Colleen from 4 or 5 episodes ago when she could have fucking stopped all this. I wish I could like stop time and show her like the multiverse where the replications of her or ramifications of her decision to like stick to Team J. And
Yeah.
like I wish we could see an alternate universe where Colleen votes Jay out and they all anyway, it would have been a different story. But in terms of them, yeah, Kyland, the biggest turnaround for me from not liking him, from his exit on Big Brother, put a bad taste in my mouth, to now loving him, understanding where he's coming from, getting like the way his brain works, and to now thinking he's funny and smart and a real contender to win.
Yeah.
Horacio, they do not make them like this anymore. Like he's a rare human that is that sort of
Yeah.
like nobody's that good. I'm not even saying Jay or Olivia or Michelle should be as good as Horacio. None of us are. Nobody is. Most people aren't that honorable and stuff. But
Yeah.
it is nice to have a character that you can root for that
Yeah.
is genuinely a good guy. So God, you gotta love him. And then
So
when they have a love story too.
yeah, remember that time I told you and Jenna the story how I ran into Amber and Chauncey at that party in Hollywood in the Hollywood
Uh-huh.
Hills, and I took a picture with him and I showed you girls in the show. Kyland was also at that party.
Oh,
However, he had only appeared on like the Challenge USA. I didn't watch him on Big Brother. I wasn't just a big fan. Now it's like, damn, I wish that party happened this week because I
right.
would have run up to him. I would have shaken his hand and said, hey man, great season. I would have gotten a picture with him, all that stuff, and just had a good conversation. But I wasn't a fan yet because he didn't really do much on the Challenge USA and I didn't watch him on Big Brother. So there you go.
Yeah.
Now it's like complete
I
180.
loved him on Big Brother until the very end. And if anyone hasn't watched that season, it's the greatest season in the world. It brought us the cookout. It's not the greatest season. And it just reminded me, I had a dream last night about what's her name? Taylor, like our girl from Big
Yeah.
Brother. I like literally had a dream that
Yeah,
I met
what's
her.
she up to? She should get on. What if she
I must have like
challenge
right
season
before
40?
I
Let's
fell
go.
asleep. She's moved to LA. I know what she's up to because I like follow her on Instagram. And she's moved to LA, and I think she was at a Lakers game because in my dream I like saw her at a Lakers game and was like, "Oh my God, you don't understand how much I'm." Anyway, I was fangirling even in my dream. But Kyland, I loved, and then I didn't like, and then I didn't care about, and now I love. So I've had a lot of feelings with him. But yes, seeing him would be great too because he's awesome, and now I feel like I've gotten a much for a show that now doesn't get into any drama even if they do with fighting and sex and stuff, Kylan's personality now has become clear to me through his explanations of like what he is and seeing the way he reacts to things. And now I'm like, oh, okay, now I get him and I love him. At
Yeah.
first, I had mixed emotions about him, but now I'm super,
I
super, super.
definitely liked him even more once Melissa went home because I'm not
Oh
so a
yeah,
couple of housekeeping things we should talk about real quick here. Number one, everyone needs to get ready for the Jersey Shore next week. You all should watch this on February 8th. They're bringing the whole cast back together. I know Family Reunion is definitely a shell of what the Jersey Shore was, but I am going to be tuning in so hard for this show just because of Ronnie and Sammy are all, just everyone's back in. And the other thing is, real quick, and you can comment on both, Pam, is apparently they've announced that the All Stars season 4 is airing on March 18th. I want to say it's in March, I believe. So get ready because after this, it looks like we're going to be jumping in.
okay.
We're jumping right into All Stars. So there you go.
Amazing. So my question about Ronnie and Sammy
Yeah.
is there a chance? Like, are both of them happily married to other people right now?
I
Like,
know
is there,
I believe she is in a very serious relationship, if not engaged. When we're going to find out, I know that I know she's with somebody, I believe. So no, but it's still fun to see that what's going to happen. I don't
but I
know.
mean, it didn't disappoint on that first family vacation reunion, whatever. I didn't make it through the whole thing, but I watched like the first episode and Ronnie was crying over Sam. It was like, I've never loved anyone
Yeah,
like
but
I loved
it
her.
got
Like,
pretty bad. They've done like 4 or 5. They've done probably almost as many seasons as they did of the original Jersey Shore at this point, and they're
yeah,
very planned out. I mean, obviously, probably the Jersey Shore was too, but I don't think so because it was back in the day when people could get drunk and do stupid shit on TV and not get in trouble or canceled or whatever, you know. So now it's much more planned out. I feel like every scene is very scripted. Like, okay, this is what you're going to talk about. Now go. So it's just not good anymore. But Ronnie and Sam, they got to give me something. So there you go.
well, now it's getting scary because I was gonna ask you, well, I guess I'll ask, who do you think of the people left has the best shot at winning?
All right, let me look at my list here. Uh, I don't think any of the girls are going to win it. I think Zaza was your closest female that could win. So then it comes down to guys, and the guys are James, Emmanuel, Corey, and Jay. I can't stand Jay. I refuse to even believe that he could win. So I don't even want him on the table. I think the issue with James, I don't think he has any endurance. We saw him in that elimination beginning of the season. The dude has no endurance. So now you're down to Corey and Emmanuel. Right?
Like
I don't know. There you go. I mean,
gutting.
process of elimination, that's what we have. That's who's going to win.
I'm literally gutted, and I don't like to wish ill will on anyone, and I don't want Jay to be like permanently maimed or anything, but I hope he has a fessy like twist of the ankle or like a whatever during it, because Jay at this point, the three guys who could have easily taken him out Ed, Horacio, and Kyland that had like good have been eliminated. Like for him, this he must be he's like living a dream. It's I don't know if there's everybody left because Jay is not dumb. I think Emmanuel is the endurance and physical, but I don't know if he's smart, if he's got the puzzle sense. Remember when Tori was trying to help him with like basic math?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just don't know either. And God, Corey would be so undeserved if he was the new champion. He's never, did he even go down to the, was he even in the, most of these people that are now in the, that will make it to the final have not been in an elimination. And it makes me sick.
Look, I think Jay, I don't think Jay's going to win it. I mean, Jay could get second or third. Like he could be in that top three. I mean, we heard Kylan tonight. Kylan did say that there is prizes for all three, but only one champion. So I don't, that to me doesn't make sense. Like when TJ said there's only be one champion this season at one point, like that was kind of like in episode one. People apparently told me in episode 0 that TJ mentioned there was going to be prizes for all three. So that to me is like, well, then I get there's one champion, but there's still prizes for 3 people. So I guess it's just the only big deal is there's not one female and not one male champion. That's how they're getting away with making it seem like, oh my God, only one champion gets all the money, but there's still prizes for second, third. So, okay.
I'm so displeased at the contenders for the finale or for the final, and don't believe that any of them deserve to call themselves a challenge champion. That I honestly hope at this point it's like Colleen, then James, then so it'll just be a throwaway. No one's gonna remember.
Like Colleen wins the thing. Oh my God.
Because then no one cares. It's not like, oh, well, Colleen's a champ. Like no one will be like, what a weird ass, like Josh winning Big Brother. It's like, okay.
Yeah, so like if Nurys can at least finish in the top 3 for me, I won't consider it a completely lost champion.
Nurys at least deserves to, I think, because of what she's gone through emotionally, she's earned a spot. And I mean, she's been betrayed. She's lost her friend. Like at least she's given us a story. But in terms of competition, there was this giant dominant alliance that had the numbers and never saw an elimination. And fucking, if one of them takes away, if when Mariah wins, it's going to be like, well, how stupid.
Yeah. I agree, 100%.
Totally stupid.
What has if I challenge you, or I challenge the people watching? What has Mariah done all season besides stay in a good alliance? Nothing. She hasn't won anything. She hasn't won crap. Like there was some team. Like, and don't give me like, oh, she was in a team win. She was in a team win when there was 12 people on a team. Like, no, that doesn't count. 12 people versus 12 people. That's not a win. That's a team win. And kudos what even she did with that. So yeah,
she pled loyalty to Jay and stuck with it. That's what she's done. I don't know what else she's done, and I don't know. I'm so mad that all the other bystanders allowed this to go this far. That the 3 guys who could have beat Jay are gone now.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I hate to say it, but I do think he is the best chance. So that's why I'm wishing for like a twisted knee. I don't want him to be permanently impaired, but I do not want to see him be able to win this and call himself a champ. Yeah. It would be gross.
Yeah. Look, with everything that we said here, look, I think we did a great job summing up this episode. There's $356,000 on the line at this point, which is actually a lot less than what we've seen in the last couple of seasons. So it's like actually like a reasonable amount instead of like this ridiculous amount of $1 million, but whatever, 356. Nothing to sneeze at. I will take that money any day of the week, even after taxes. So
news don't deserve any more than that. So, and again, at least if it's someone like, that's why it's like champion minus, right? The new champion light, like a champion wins $1 million. These people can win 300,000. But if they, at this point, I guess I'm honestly hoping for like Emmanuel then is the only person who really can, that money would like be life-changing for him. Okay. And
all right, so if we're going that far then, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, over like a
they've been using his dialogue more than anyone else of like what he needs the money for. Like that's been his big push all season of why he's relevant in this season, right? Like every other episode I said earlier, they keep checking in with him all the freaking time. Like, oh, this is for my mom. This is for my mom. I'm gonna get my mom to retire, blah, blah.
She's just a nice woman who he doesn't want to have to work.
I call conspiracy right there then, Pam. That's why they're keeping, why they're
most people's parents supported them when they were children. Like, of
But
course
why
you
are
want
they?
to,
They're using
whatever. Yeah,
Emmanuel's storyline. That is his storyline all season. He doesn't do
right.
anything in the show. His
I want
storyline
to help
is,
my
I'm going to help my
family.
mom retire.
But it's not even like Nurys, who's like, who again was like, well, I hate to be cliche because TJ asked, what would you do with the money?
Yeah,
And again, I don't think that should even be, who cares what you do with the money? I win, I
agreed.
go give it to strippers. I don't care. But
Exactly.
it's, but Nurys is like, I'm the provider for my mother and my grandfather.
She did
Like,
mention
I'm
that.
the
Yeah,
provider, which again gives me more. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm gonna put that over. I appreciate that Emmanuel doesn't want his mom to have to work, but like, yeah, I want my mom to have to work. Well, yeah, it's like, all right, but like, people work. You know, it's not like she's like my mom is like selling her hair and her blood. It's not Les Miserables. Like, hopefully, she's not like saving her hair to,
yeah,
buy a loaf of
yeah.
bread. It's
All right.
anyway.
Great chat.
This
Jenna will be back next week. She was supposed to be here tonight. She had some type of conflict that came up out of nowhere, so she will be back for all you Jenna fans out there. And we will see y'all next week for episode 17. Holy crap. I think they're going 20 solid episodes here. That will include the reunion there. So maybe we have 2 more episodes and then a 2-time final and then a reunion. So I guess it'll
Yeah,
be one
hashtag
more episode.
fuck
It
Jay
could be one
too.
more episode, then it could be a 2-part final, then it could be a reunion that would get us 20 exactly 20 episodes. So there you
And
go.
we have the hashtag FJ.
Hashtag FJ. Only one person put in our James hashtag last week, which I thought was really funny that you came up with that, Pam. But someone did, so that was nice. The letter F and then just the letter J. So just an F and a J.
FJ. Hashtag FJ.
Hashtag FJ.
Let's get that trending on. Yeah, I'm gonna post that on with the show post. I don't
Go
think I
ahead.
won't.
Go ahead, Pam.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
do it.
For Pamela, my name's Dan. We'll see y'all next week for episode 17 of The Challenge Battle for a New Champion. Bye.
Love you guys.